Hi, my name is Brian Lynn. I'm the Director of Technology with 36 Software. And in this training video today, we're going to take a look at Smart Builders. Smart Builders are a new feature in SmartDocs 2.1 that allow you to design and store wizards inside of your Microsoft Word template. So as writers create new documents off of that Word template, they will be presented with the wizard. They will walk through the wizard. They will answer a series of questions. And then when they click the Finish button at the end of that wizard, SmartDocs is going to perform all sorts of actions that you have programmed into the wizard, such as populating the value of reasonable variables, showing and hiding conditional text, going and grabbing snippets from your SmartDocs repository and inserting those snippets inside of your Word document. So Smart Builders are a great way that you can allow writers to create documents off of templates and then assist them in the assembly of those new documents. So let's take a look at Smart Builders. Let's walk through the process of how do you create a Smart Builder, how do you set up the user interface, and then how do you set up the actions that the Smart Builder is going to execute. The example document that we're going to be working with today is a sales proposal template. And so if we take a look at this template, let's take a quick look at the things that we want the Smart Builder to do to this document after the user creates a new document off of the template and goes through and answers the questions inside the Smart Builder. So what we want in this case our Smart Builder to do is we want it to populate the values of a bunch of reasonable variables. So like any sales proposal, we have a bunch of variable content in here. Information about the proposal, information about the client that the proposal is for, information about the sales rep that is filling out the proposal. So that's all great candidates for SmartDocs reusable variables. So we want to collect that information in our Smart Builder wizard and then automatically populate the values of those reusable variables. Some of the other things that we want this Smart Builder to do is if we scroll down to our company profile section, what we want the Smart Builder to do is we want it to grab one of our pre-approved company profiles that is going to be most relevant for this client based on what industry that the client is in. We're also going to take a look at, if we look down at the hardware section here, you can see that our company offers all sorts of different pieces of hardware. So we're going to see how in the Smart Builder you can ask the sales rep the question, what hardware is this client interested in, and then we can have the Smart Builder automatically show and hide conditional text. And then we're also going to take a look at how we can grab existing snippets out of our SmartDocs repository and drop those snippets. In this case, we're going to grab some client reference snippets, and we're going to grab some staff resume snippets, and we're going to drop those inside of our document. So we're going to do all this inside of a Smart Builder. So now our writers are going to be able to double click on this proposal template. They're going to go through a wizard, and when they click the Finish button on that wizard, this document is going to be pre-populated with a bunch of content. So in order to create a new Smart Builder, you access the Document Assembly menu in SmartDocs, and you select the Smart Builders option, and you click on Edit Smart Builder. If there is not yet a Smart Builder defined for this Microsoft Word template, you will get the new Smart Builder wizard. So like any SmartDocs wizard, you just go through this wizard and answer questions. The first thing you do is you enter the name of the Smart Builder, and typically we recommend naming a Smart Builder to be the same as the type of document that the Smart Builder is helping the writer produce. So in this case, we're going to call this Smart Builder Sales Proposal, because we're going to help our writers generate a sales proposal document. The value that you type in here will be displayed in various parts of the Smart Builder user interface, and you can always come back and change the name of a Smart Builder at a later date. So once we've entered a name, we click Next, and on this next screen we configure how we want this Smart Builder to execute. The default setting, and the one that you'll probably select most often, is that you want this Smart Builder to automatically be executed anytime a writer creates a new document off of this Word template. So if we leave this default setting, what this means is anytime a writer or a user double clicks on this DOT file, when they get the new Word document that opens up, the Smart Builder wizard will automatically launch as soon as that Word document is opened up. Now there may be some cases where you don't want the Smart Builder to automatically execute. If that's the case, you can configure the Smart Builder to only run in manual mode, which means that the user must run the Smart Builder off of the document assembly menu. It will not automatically open up when a new document is created. In this case, and in most cases, you'll probably want to automatically run the Smart Builder, so we'll leave that setting set. We click next and we click the finish button. And now what has happened is SmartDocs has defined a new Smart Builder for this Microsoft Word template. So we can see our success message, and we also see that SmartDocs is telling us that the Edit Smart Builder dialog will now open. So if we click on the OK button, we're going to see a new window open up, and this is our Edit Smart Builder user interface. And so this is the screen that we use to design both the user interface and the actions that the Smart Builder will take when it is executed. On this Properties tab, you can see this is giving us some other information about the Smart Builder. Again, this is where you can change the name of the Smart Builder if you'd like to change it. You can define the height and width of the wizard that gets executed. So by default, we have our wizard will be 450 pixels wide and 350 pixels tall. But based on the amount of data that you're capturing inside of your wizard, you may want to change its size. So you can configure the size here. After the Smart Builder has successfully executed, this is the message that will be displayed back to your user. So by default, we're going to display a very simple success message, but if you want to customize that message, you can customize that here. And then down here at the bottom, we can again control whether or not the Smart Builder is automatically run when a new document is created off of this template, and whether or not we want the Smart Builder to be automatically deleted after it is successfully executed. So let's go back to our user interface tab, and the first thing we need to do for the Smart Builder is we need to define its user interface. Again, a Smart Builder is a wizard. Just like any SmartDocs wizard, a Smart Builder has next buttons and back buttons and a finish button at the very end. So you can design your Smart Builder wizard to contain any number of pages, and for each page that you put into the wizard, you can design all of the text and all of the screen and all of the controls that are displayed on the Smart Builder screen. So you have total control over the user interface for the Smart Builder. So let's go ahead and design our user interface. This will take a little bit of time here, but what I want to do is walk through. I want to show you all the different options and controls that you may have. So if we want to add a new page to our Smart Builder, all we do is we go to the new menu and we click on the page option, and the new Smart Builder page window is going to open. This is where you can specify a name for your page. You can specify header text, and header text is displayed at the top of your page. You can specify descriptive text. Descriptive text is additional detailed information about that page, about the type of information that you are asking the user to enter. And then you also have a field here called visible logic. The important thing about this visible logic field is that you can program your Smart Builder to show or hide certain pages based on how the user has answered questions inside of your Smart Builder. So as you're going through your Smart Builder wizard, you may want to show or hide some pages in your wizard based on answers that the user has already provided you. And this visible logic field allows you to do that. So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to call this page proposal information. This will be the first page in our wizard that we'll use to gather general information about the proposal. And I'm going to enter some header text. And these other fields are optional, so I'm going to leave them blank, and I'm going to click the Save button. And so you can see here, we have just created a new page inside of our Smart Builder wizard. We can click on this View button to get a preview of what the Smart Builder user interface looks like. So if we take a look at the user interface, you can see here we have our welcome page in the wizard, which was automatically generated for us. And this just gives general information to the user about the Smart Builder. If I click the Next button, you can see here is the proposal information page that we just created. Now right now we have not added any controls to this page, so that's why it's empty, but we're going to come back and add controls to this page in just a minute. And finally, if I click the Next button again, you can see that this is the finish page in our wizard, which again was automatically generated for us. So let's close out of the preview here, and let's go back and let's define the remaining pages inside of our Smart Builder wizard. So we have defined now all the pages for our Smart Builder wizard, and if I click on the View button real quickly, you can see I'm going to walk through these pages, and you can see how the Smart Builder is automatically generating the pages in the wizard for me. And again, of course, we don't have any fields yet or any controls because we haven't added those to our pages yet. But you can see that we have just defined the entire outline or the entire structure for our Smart Builder. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back through each one of these pages, and we're going to start to add controls to each page. So you can see for each of the pages that SmartDocs that the Smart Builder created, it automatically created this group box control for me. And all a group box control is it's a way to logically group your controls together on your Smart Builder screen. So first thing we're going to do is on our proposal information page is we're going to edit the name of this group box so it's more meaningful for us. And we'll call this one proposal information. And we are also going to enter the same value for the header text, and the header text is what is actually going to be displayed on the screen inside of our Smart Builder. We're going to add a second group box, and we'll call this one sales rep information, and we will add header text. Okay, so now we've added two group boxes to our proposal information page. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start adding some text box fields so we can gather some information from the user. So we will add a new text box control to this page. And the first value that we want to collect is the name of the proposal. So you can see we're going to call this control proposal name. Each control that you add to your Smart Builder wizard will have an ID automatically assigned to it, and by default the ID that gets assigned to it is the same as the name, except all spaces are replaced by an underscore. Now this control ID is important because you can refer to this control ID in any of your logic fields inside of your Smart Builder. So before, when I was talking about how you can show and hide pages inside of your Smart Builder, you can do that by controlling the visible logic for each of your pages, and you can refer back to other controls in your Smart Builder by using this control ID. So I'm going to say that this field is required so that the user must enter a value in the Smart Builder wizard. Next, we're going to add another text box field, and we'll call this one proposal number. Again, we'll say this is required. And real quickly, I'm going to add some text boxes to our sales rep information. So you can see now I have designed my entire proposal information screen to gather the proposal information about the proposal and information about the sales rep that is preparing the proposal. So now if we take a look at our Smart Builder wizard, now we can see a screen that actually has fields on it. So we can see that we have two different group boxes, and that's why these fields are logically grouped in separate boxes. We assigned a header text to each of the group boxes, and then we have defined 5 text boxes to gather information about the proposal and about the sales rep. So you can see here how easy it is to start to build out the user interface inside of your Smart Builder. So if we continue with this process, now we're going to go to our client information screen, and again I'm going to edit this group box to have a meaningful name. First we'll gather company information, and we'll add another group box to gather information about the name of the person at the company who's going to be receiving our sales proposal. And now again we're going to add some controls to each of these group boxes. First we're going to get the name of the company. This field is required. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to ask what industry is this company in, because based on the industry of the company we're going to want to customize our sales proposal different ways. So instead of having a text box here, this is actually going to be a choice field. What a choice field is this allows you to create either a drop-down box or a drop-down menu, a checkbox list where you can select multiple items, or a radio button list where you can select one item. So you can present the user with a list of choices that then they are required to select one if you make this a required field. So we're going to call this company industry, and we're going to make the available values government, insurance, and other. And we're going to use a drop-down menu for this field, and we're going to leave default value blank, meaning none of these values will be pre-selected, and we're going to flag this as a required field. Next, we're going to enter a couple text boxes for the recipient information. Now if I click next on this screen, we're going to see an error message pop up, and that's because a lot of the fields in this screen are required. So if I just go ahead and put some values in this field so we can continue to see what our Smart Builder looks like. Now we can see in the client information page we have a couple group boxes, the text controls we just set up, and of course here's a drop-down box with the 3 values that we just specified. So now let's continue and let's put a control on our hardware page, and I'm going to add a choice control, and this choice control is going to present the user with a list of hardware options that then they can select one or more options. We will present these to the user as a checkbox list so they can select multiple options, and we will require the user to select at least one value from this list. Next thing we'll do is we are going to add a control that will allow the user to select the client references to include inside of the Smart Builder. So we'll add header text to the group box to say client references. And in this case, we are going to add a reusable snippet pick list control. What a reusable snippet pick list control is this allows you to display a list of snippets back to the user so then they can select one or more snippets to include inside of the document. So in this case, we are going to present a list of client reference snippets back to the user. So we will call this control client references. We are going to select the SmartDocs repository that contains the filtered lists of reusable snippets. If you've done work with SmartFinders before, just like with SmartFinders, we use SharePoint views to allow you to filter your list of snippets down. So you would go to SharePoint, you would set up a view that contains the filtered list of snippets that you would like to present in the Smart Builder. Then you would come back to SmartDocs and you would select the SmartDocs repository in the SharePoint view that contains the filtered list of snippets. Next thing you do is you select the selection mode, as can the user insert one snippet or many snippets. In this case we're going to say they can insert many snippets, and then you can select how big that the pick list should be on the screen. How many items do you want to display at a time on the screen? In this case we'll say 8 items. And then you can say whether or not this field is required. And in this case I don't want it to display a label for this control. Otherwise client references would be displayed as a label. In this case that's just going to take up screen space. That's not really necessary. So I'm going to tell SmartDocs to hide the label for this control so it won't be displayed on the screen. Just like we did for client references, we're going to add a snippet pick list for our staff profiles. And this will come from our sales proposal repository, the staff profiles SharePoint view. Again, we can select multiple snippets and we will hide the label for this control. So now you can see we have just defined the whole user interface for our Smart Builder wizard. Let's take a quick look at what it looks like. You can see on this screen all text boxes to provide our proposal information. This is where we provide our company information and our company industry. Here is our hardware page where we can select the hardware that's included in our proposal. Of course, one of these is required. Here are our client references. So you can see this is displaying all the client references out of our reusable snippet library. Here are our staff profiles. So just some other quick things to point out before we move on to the Smart Builder actions. Some of the other options in the toolbar here is you can move any of the pages or the controls around using the up and down arrows. You can remove a control or a page from your Smart Builder wizard using this delete option. Some of the other controls that we didn't talk about today are there's a text control that just allows you to display text on the screen. There's a yes and no control, so you can add a radio button that allows the user to select a yes value or a no value. So you have a lot of flexibility with different styles of controls for how you can set up your Smart Builder wizard to collect information from your users in a very meaningful way. Once you have defined the user interface for your Smart Builder, the next thing you do is you set up a series of actions. These actions are going to be executed when the user clicks the Finish button inside of the Smart Builder. But you have 5 actions available to you right now inside your Smart Builder. The first action is a delete content action that allows you to delete content from your document. So you can tag content inside your document with the word bookmark, and then you can delete that content from your document based on how the user has answered certain values inside of your Smart Builder wizard. You can do an insert reusable snippet action. This action will insert snippets inside of your document, and you have complete control over which snippets get inserted. You can do a restore document snapshot action. This action will restore a snapshot that you have defined for this Word document. You can show or hide conditional tags. So based on how the user has answered questions in the wizard, you may want to show or hide some content. And you can also update the values of reusable variables based on the values that have been supplied by the user. So what we'll do is we'll start to add some edit or some update reusable variable actions. And what we're going to say is we're going to assign the name of the proposal to equal the value that the user types into the proposal underscore name control. So if you remember, when we set up the proposal name field, we also assigned that control an ID, and that ID was proposal underscore name. So here we are telling SmartDocs to take the value that was typed into the proposal underscore name control and update the value of the proposal under name score reusable variable, which is already inside of this document, and we can see over here in the task pane. So now the user is going to fill out the value in the Smart Builder wizard, and Smart Builder will know to automatically update that reusable variable value for you. So I'm going to add a bunch of update reusable variable actions here. Okay, as you can see here, we have added a bunch of update reusable variable actions to our Smart Builder. So when the Smart Builder is executed, the value for all of these variables is automatically going to be populated based on the values that the user entered into all of these controls inside of the Smart Builder. The next set of actions that we're going to start adding to our Smart Builder are insert reusable snippet actions. So if you recall, we had client reference and staff profile appendices at the end of this document, and we want to allow the user to select the snippets that they would like to include in these sections of the document. So I'm going to add an insert reusable snippet action to my Smart Builder that's going to perform this action for me. I'm going to give this action a description. So this description will display back on the previous screen for me, so I know what this action is doing. So I will call this insert reference snippets. And here for a insert reusable snippet action, you have two things you have to do. The first thing you have to do is you have to define the source list of snippets that you want to insert. So you can either specify using a custom list the exact snippets that you want to insert, or you can refer back to one of your reusable snippet pick list controls. Once you have defined the snippets that you want to insert, you then have to specify where in the document you want to insert these snippets. And you can either insert them at a specific bookmark location, or you can insert them in a location where you already have a Smart Finder inside of your document. So in this case, for our reference snippets, I'm going to say I have a reusable snippet pick list in my Smart Builder wizard. And the name of that, or the ID for that control, is client references. And I'm going to tell SmartDocs that I want to insert the snippets that the user has selected in this control at the following location. So I have a Smart Finder in my document for client reference snippets, so that's going to be my target location. We're going to let the user select the snippets that they want to insert in the wizard, and then the the Smart Builder will automatically insert the snippets where we have the client reference Smart Finder inside of this document already. So we're going to click the Save button, and we're going to add another insert snippet action, this time for our staff profiles. And again, the selected snippets will come from our staff profile pick list that we put in the Smart Builder wizard, and we will insert these over the Smart Finder for staff profiles that is already inside of our document. So here you can see we now have two insert snippet actions that have been defined for this Smart Builder. I want to define another insert snippet action based on the industry that the client has selected in our Smart Builder wizard. So how am I going to do this? Let's go ahead and save our Smart Builder for a second and scroll down to our company profile section in our document. So you can see this is the part of the document where we want to put the company profile. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to insert a bookmark here. And so I'm just going to call this Word bookmark company profile and click the add button. And so you can see we have an empty bookmark at the location in the document where we want the Smart Builder to insert our company profile snippet. Now the next thing you need to do is you're going to go back to your Smart Builder and go back to your actions, and we're going to create a new insert reusable snippet action, and we will call this insert company profile snippet. And here we want to insert a specific snippet from our SmartDocs repository based on the value that the user selected for the client industry field. So if you recall, back in our wizard, we have a drop-down box for the client industry. So what we're going to do here is the first thing, let's take a look at our SmartDocs repository. You can see in our snippet library, we have 3 snippets. One is a generic company profile, one has been customized for government clients, and one has been customized for insurance clients. So if the selected industry is government, we want to insert the government snippet. If the selected industry is insurance, we want to insert the insurance snippet. And if it's anything else, we want to insert our generic company profile. So we are going to set up 3 different insert reusable snippet actions, one for each of the conditions, or one for each of the industries that the user could select in that drop-down box. And we are going to use this enable logic field to control which of these 3 actions actually gets executed. So if the selected client industry equals other, then we are going to tell SmartDocs to insert the reusable snippet with this SmartDocs ID. So I'm going to copy and paste this. So we are telling SmartDocs from our sales proposal repository, insert this reusable snippet with this SmartDocs ID if the user has selected the value of other in our client industry field. And we're going to tell SmartDocs to insert that where we have placed the company profile bookmark inside of our document. So I'm going to go ahead and click the Save button, and I'm going to add another insert snippet action. And this will be very similar to the previous one. This will be insert company profile snippet for government. And in this case, the enable logic is going to be very similar, but this will only execute if the selected value is government. And so we're going to go grab the SmartDocs ID for government. And again, we will insert this at the company profile bookmark. And I'm going to insert one more insert reusable snippet action. But this one will only execute if the selected value is insurance. So even though we are setting up 3 actions, only one of these actions is actually going to execute when the Smart Builder is run. And the one that executes will correspond to the value that was selected in the client industry field. So you can see now we've set up a bunch of insert snippet actions. One of these 3 company profile actions will execute based on the value selected in industry, and then these insert reference snippets and staff profile snippets actions will always execute, and they will insert the snippets that the user selected inside of the Smart Builder wizard. Final thing I want to do to finish out this Smart Builder is I want to let the user select one or more hardware values, and based on the hardware values that they select, I want to show and hide conditional text or conditional tags inside of my document. So in this case, I'm going to add a show or hide conditional tags action. So what we're going to do here is we're going to tell SmartDocs to take a look at the hardware field that contains all of those checkboxes, and if one of the selected values is smartphone, then take the smartphone conditional tag and make sure that that conditional tag is visible inside of this document. We'll add another show or hide conditional tag action. And in this one, we're going to say if the media player checkbox is checked in the hardware field, then make sure that the media player conditional tag is displayed inside of this document. And we're going to continue this exercise for each of the remaining options that we presented in the hardware checkbox list in our Smart Builder wizard. So you can see here we have set up 5 different show or hide conditional tag actions, and each of these actions will show the associated conditional tag inside of this document if that option was selected in the hardware checkbox list in our Smart Builder wizard. So at this point we have designed an entire Smart Builder, including the entire user interface and then all the different actions that will be executed when the user runs through this Smart Builder. So let's go ahead and let's save our Smart Builder. The last thing I want to do before closing this Word document, this Word template, is I want to hide all of our conditional text. If you just remember, we set up all of those Smart Builder actions to show these conditional tags if the user wants them to, based on what they have selected in the Smart Builder wizard. So by default, we're going to hide everything. And then the Smart Builder wizard will take care of showing the tags that are applicable for this proposal that we are generating. So let's click on the Save button so we can hide that conditional text out of our template. We're going to save our Word template. We're going to go ahead and close it. Okay, let's now go ahead and let's create a new document off of our sales proposal template. And let's see how SmartDocs behaves. We can see our new document is opened off of our template, and SmartDocs recognizes that this document contains a Smart Builder, so our Smart Builder wizard automatically opens up. First thing the Smart Builder is going to do is load all the information it needs to execute the Smart Builder. We are then going to start filling out the information in the wizard. So what is the name of our proposal? The proposal number, the sales rep name, sales rep contact information. The next screen, we provide the name of the company, the industry that the company's in, we'll pick insurance, and the name of the person who is receiving this proposal. Next screen is we select the hardware that this client is interested in. The values that the options that we select here will then be will be controlled using conditional text inside of our document. So the values that we select, we will be able to see in our sales proposal. Next, we get our list of client references, and we can select the ones that we want to include in this proposal. We can use these up and down arrows if we want to resort our list, so we can insert these snippets in any order that we want, and we can use the View button to preview what a snippet looks like before we select it for insertion inside this proposal. Next, we select the staff profiles, and again, we can select any number of profiles, and we can use our up and down arrows to sort them. And now our Smart Builder is ready to run. So when I click this Finish button, the Smart Builder is going to take all the information that I entered inside the Smart Builder wizard. It's going to execute all of the actions based on the data that I entered, and it's going to update variables, it's going to show and hide conditional text, and it's going to insert a bunch of snippets inside of this document. So let's click on the Finish button. The first thing that is happening is all the snippets are being downloaded. Then our document is being assembled. You can see when the assembly process is complete, you will get a success message. If you click on the View Log button, you will see a detailed log of the Smart Builder process, including all of the actions that were executed. And now if we take a look at our document, we can see how this document is pre-populated with a bunch of content. The name of the proposal, the company that it's for, the RFP number, who the proposal was prepared for, the sales rep that prepared the proposal. If we scroll down in this document and we look at the company profile, we can see that our insurance company profile was inserted inside of this document because we selected insurance as the industry in the company industry drop-down box. Here we can see some more variable content was automatically populated for me. If we look in the hardware section, you can see that the 3 pieces of hardware that we selected in that checkbox list are visible inside of this document. And if we scroll down into our client reference section, you can see that the 3 references that we selected in the Smart Builder Wizard are included in the proposal. And likewise, if we look at the resumes of key staff, you can see how the 3 staff snippets that we selected are included inside of this proposal. So hopefully this video gives you a good overview of what a Smart Builder is and the process that you have to go through to create it. So with a lot of thought and a little bit of work up front, you can design some very, very powerful Smart Builders inside of your Word templates. So then your entire writing team that is creating documents off of those Word templates, all they have to do is double click on the template file, walk through the wizard, and then they will get a document that is pre-populated with content. Then from that point forward, they can begin to use this document just like any SmartDocs or Microsoft Word document, and they can continue to use SmartDocs functionality if they need to search for additional snippets or use variables or conditional text. If you have any questions or additional questions about Smart Builders, please don't hesitate to contact us. And we look forward to getting your feedback on your usage of Smart Builders and how we can make them even more powerful to help you assemble higher quality documents faster.